So today we are going to discuss about a coordination. Coordination for the science students, medical students, and also pharma. It is also a topic in anatomy also. So first of all, what is coordination? A coordination means, as we know that the functions of organ system in our body must be coordinated to maintain a homeostasis. Homeostasis means self-regulatory process by which organisms tend to maintain a stability. Okay, coordination means in this process what happened, two or more organs will be interacted and complement the functions of one another. So what happened, two or more organisms will be interacted at once at the same time. How means, for example, when we do our physical exercises, so if we do a physical exercise, our energy demand is increased for maintaining increased muscular activities, and also automatically we will increase the demand of oxygen and increase in the rate of respiration, heartbeat, increase blood flow, etc. So here if we do the physical exercises, automatically we will increase these all activities, other organism activities. For example, when we stop the physical exercises, what happens is all the activities of other organs like nerves, lungs, heart, kidneys gradually return to their normal condition. So it was depend on each other at the same time. So what happened, these functions of the muscles, lungs, heart, blood vessels, kidneys and other organs are coordinated while performing a physical exercise. So in our body, the neural system and the endocrine system, they jointly coordinate and interact all the actions of the organs, so that they functions in the synchronized fashion. Synchronized means the function will be occur at the same time. Like if we do the physical exercises, automatically the energy demand and oxygen demand, they will be also increases now, like that is called a synchronized fashion. So here in neural system also, see, there is a quick coordination between one another neuron by the network of point-to-point connection. So this is called a coordination between one organism with another organisms, and also it the function also depend on each other. Okay, this is a simple example definition of coordination. Coordination between two or more organs. So next, here the human neural system. So human neural system, it is divided into two parts, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, and it is also known as a central neural system and peripheral neural system, CNS, PNS. So CNS includes a brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system, it includes both nerves like cranial nerves, spinal nerves. Next one, there are also two more neuron systems like somatic neuron system, autonomous neuron system. In this autonomous neuron system also divided into two divisions like sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions. So today we are going to discuss about a central nervous system, in which the brain topic is clearly explained in this video. So see. So here the brain is a living supercomputer. Okay, first of all, our brain, which is present in the skull. So the skull is a hard bony box. Okay, that hard bony box, it is called as a cranium. So this cranium, it is protected by the cranial cavity and also three another connective tissue membranes called cranial meninges. First of all, our brain, it is covered with the cranial hard bony box, and then we have three membranes called meninges. Three membranes are meninges like dura mater, arachnoid matter and pia mater. These are the membranes. Okay, this was the first layer, second layer and third layer membranes. Okay, next what happened, this brain is divided into three divisions. In detail we will learn in another slide. So this brain is divided into three divisions. First of all, forebrain. See here, this is a forebrain, upper part. Next, midbrain, middle part, and hindbrain, posterior part. Okay, down it was a last part. Okay, here the forebrain also divided into three, like olfactory bulb. Here olfactory bulb means what? Means it receives the impulses like smell. Okay, it receives the impulses of smell, that is called olfactory bulb. Here the function is receiving the impulses of smell. Next, cerebrum. See here, the cerebrum is present here in forebrain. Next, diencephalon. Diencephalon is this. So this diencephalon is also divided into three, like thalamus. See here, this is the diencephalon. Okay, here it is divided into three parts. So epithalamus, thalamus, here hypothalamus. Okay, it is divided into three parts. So in forebrain there are three, and in diencephalon also there are three. Okay, diencephalon is also known as thalamencephalon. Okay, next, midbrain, mesencephalon. See here, this is the midbrain. Okay, next, last one, hindbrain, rhombencephalon. So here it is divided into three. See, hindbrain. First of all, this is the cerebellum. It was like a network, tree-like structure. So next, pons varolii. Here it is present. Next, last one, medulla oblongata. This is a medulla oblongata. This three in combined, it is also called as brain stem. In brain stem only these three are located. So it is also called brain stem. In that brain stem, cerebellum, pons varolii, medulla oblongata. Okay, there are three divisions. The brain is divided into three: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. And also we're gonna discuss about the ventricles of the human brain. Okay, how many ventricles are present in human brain? That all are will be discussed. So first of all, outer portion is brain. So we know that our brain is a site of information processing and control. It is also known as a control center. Before the earlier 2000 years ago only, the Greek physiologists come to know that our brain is a control center of our body. Okay, so it is also covered by three connective tissues called cranial meninges. So dura mater, see here, this is our brain. Here there will be the upper layer will be the cranium. Next one, dura mater, arachnoid, and next pia layer. These are the three layers called meninges, cranial meninges. What happened in this middle space between one another, there will be the space. No, it was filled with a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, CSF. Why this fluid will be present means it will help us from the shocks, pressure, outside pressure. This will be helpful for that, and also helps the cranium also and our brain also. So we have to remember that point also. In these three layers, in that space, it will be filled with a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, first of all, dura mater. So see here, it was a dura mater. It is the outermost layer and it is a double layer. So double means it was thicker. So it was thick in size. So it is a double layered membrane and also outermost, and also it is a thick layer. So which lines the inner surface of cranial cavity. So upper layer is cranium. So it was a hard. Next, for that cranial cavity only, this dura mater is lined. Okay. Next one, arachnoid matter. Arachnoid matter means it was a second layer, second membrane. See this one. It is a thin, webby, and it is also a middle membrane. Okay. It covering the brain. Next one, last layer is pia mater. So it is a thin innermost means it closely adhered to the brain. See, it was near to the brain. So it is separated. See, this pia mater is separated from the arachnoid membrane by the subarachnoid space. So it was called a subarachnoid space. These three membranes, in between that there will be a fluid. So the fluid filled, it is called cerebrospinal fluid. This is about the layers of the brain. Below the cranium there are three layers which covers the brain, that are dura mater, arachnoid matter, pia mater. The three together called cranial meninges. Okay, this is about our brain. Next one, our brain is divided into three parts. So forebrain. Now we are going to discuss about a forebrain. So it consists of forebrain. It consists of olfactory bulb. So in olfactory bulb means what it will do, it transport the impulses. It will receive the impulses of smell. Okay, That is about olfactory bulb. Next one, cerebrum. So this cerebrum is longitudinally, it was divided into two hemispheres, left cerebral hemisphere and right cerebral hemisphere. So these are by a deep cleft called longitudinal fissures. See here. So these are this cerebrum, upper part is cerebrum. So this upper part, this is a right hemisphere, left hemisphere. This was by deep cleft. This is called divided. This left and right, it was divided by the deep cleft called longitudinal fissures. Okay, figures. Okay, these two hemispheres are internally connected by. Inside, it was connected by the transverse white flat bundle of myelinated fibers beneath the cortex, that is called corpus callosum. See here. Here this is corpus callosum. These two are connected here now. This is called corpus callosum. Okay. The two hemispheres are connected with one another by the bundle of myelinated fibers beneath the cortex called corpus callosum. Next, it brings the coordination between the, what brings this corpus callosum brings the coordination between the right and left cerebral hemisphere. So the surface of cerebrum is composed of grey matter called cerebral cortex. See here, this is the brain. So this is the brain. So here this upper side, the surface is called the grey matter. See here, this is the brain, the upper surface is called the grey matter. Here the grey matter, it is covered of lot of cell bodies. Outside there are cell bodies. So inside, if we cut the brain, this is the inside, this is called white matter. This all it was covered with axons. Inside it was covered with axons, outside it will covered with cell bodies. So our brain also have a lot of nerves. It is a neuron now. So if we cut it, we can see the grey matter and white matter. Okay. See here, the surface of cerebrum is a grey matter. It is also called a cerebrum cortex. So the neuronal cell bodies are concentrated in cerebral cortex. So here the cell bodies are there in cerebral cortex, means in grey matter. Okay. The surface of cerebral cortex show many convolutions or folds or grooves. The folds are called gyri. So here our brain have lot of folds. Okay. So this is a upper fold. See, if it is like this, means upward, that is called gyrus. If it is downward division, it is called a sulcus. So depression is there. This depression is called sulcus. This is called gyri. Okay. There are a lot of folds, several folds in cerebrum. So here these folds are like this. No, the upper side is called gyri. So here the down division is there. No, this down depression is called a sulci. Okay. The deepest and shallower groove between the folds called fissures and sulci. Okay, we can call this both. The gyri and sulci increase the surface area of cerebral cortex. This is all the cerebrum was covered with the gyri and sulci. There are number of folds. There are several folds. So the cerebral medulla consists of myelinated axons, white matter. So outside there are all cell bodies, that is called grey matter. Inside there are axons, that is a white matter. So here there are gyri. So see here, this is the fold upward, it is called gyri. Downward depression, it is called sulci or fissures. So this is about a cerebrum. And see, this is in cerebrum there are two cerebral hemispheres are there. This is right hemisphere, left hemisphere. This divided with a deep cleft called longitudinal fissures, and this was connected here by the corpus callosum. Okay. In cerebral cortex there are three functional areas are there. First one, sensory areas, motor areas, association areas. There are three areas: sensory, motor, association. So what is sensory area means? This will receive and interrupt the sensory impulses to the sense organs. It will receive smell, touch, like that. Okay. Motor areas, which control the voluntary muscular movements. It will control the movements, muscular movements. Okay, muscular activities. Next one, association areas means this is neither clearly a sensory nor motor in functions. They deal with a more complex integrative functions like memory, communication, and learning, perceptions, thinking. This all will come under the functions of cerebrum only. So each cerebrum hemisphere of the brain is divided into 4 lobes. Okay, there are 2 cerebral hemispheres are there. So these 2 cerebral hemispheres, they are divided into 4 loops. See here, a frontal loop, parietal loop, occipital loop, and temporal loop. These are the locations. Okay, this is about the cerebrum. The functions are it will receive a sensory impulses, it will control a voluntary muscular activities, perception, reading, learning, communication, memory, intelligence, these thoughts. These all are the functions of cerebrum only. Okay, this is about the cerebrum. Next one, diencephalon. See here, olfactory, the sensory of smell, cerebrum. Next, diencephalon. In that it was divided into 3 layers. Okay, so the main part of diencephalon, or see this part is, this is the upper part. Cerebrum is completed. Next, this is diencephalon. Total part is called diencephalon. It was divided into 3 like this. Epithalamus, see outer layer epithalamus. This is the middle thalamus, and here the hypothalamus. See, what is epithalamus means? See, we are going to learn about this epithalamus. So this is the roof of diencephalon. So this was a roof of diencephalon. It was it is covered outside, and it has no neurons, so non-nervous part, which fused with a pia mater. Pia mater means in our brain is covered with 3 layers. The last layer name is pia mater. So what happened, it fused this epithalamus is don't know. This epithalamus will be fused with pia mater of forebrain. So to form an anterior choroid plexus, this will be formed. Just behind the anterior choroid plexus, the epithelium forms a pineal stalk. So here this is the pineal stalk. Okay, which ends in the rounded structure called pineal body. So here this is this one. This is a pituitary gland. This is a pineal body. Okay, this all is same. This is about the epithalamus. So it was an outer layer. They had no neurons. That's why it is called non-nervous part. It was fused with a what? Pia mater. Pia mater is a membrane, third membrane, last membrane of meninges. So it forms the anterior choroid plexus. This is all about that. So what happened? The epithelium it forms the pineal stalk, that round structure. So this round structure is called a pineal body. Okay, pituitary gland. This was the pituitary gland. Next one, thalamus. So see, this one is a thalamus. It lies superior to the midbrain. So it is present in midbrain. So it is a major coordination center for sensory and motor signals. So it was for smell, okay, hearing, like that, sensory organs and motor signals. Motor means what? For the voluntary, okay, movement. Next one, third one was hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the thermostat of the body. So it lies at the base of the thalamus. Hypothalamus, at the base of thalamus, it was down. The hypothalamus formed a funnel shaped downward extension called infundibulum. So it was like downward. So it was infundibulum, connected to the hypothalamus with the pituitary gland. So it was connected to what? Pituitary gland. Okay. So it also contains several groups of neurosecretory cells. Here there will be a lot of neurosecretory cells. So which secretes the hormone called hypothalamic hormones. By this hypothalamus, it also secretes the hormones called hypothalamic hormones. So what is the function of hypothalamus is it controls and integrates the activity of ANS, autonomous nervous system, and it also has osmoregulatory and satiety centers, thermoregulatory, thirst and thirsty, feeding, hunger. These all are the functions of hypothalamus. Okay, this is all about the diencephalon. Next one, limbic system. Limbic system means it is the inner part of cerebral hemisphere. Inside the hemisphere, cerebral hemispheres, there are two, no? The left and right. So inside the part it is called the limbic system. What happened? This group of associated deep structure like amygdala. See where it is? This is called amygdala. This was inside the cerebrum. So basic emotions will become here. So amygdala or amygdale or hippocampus, etc. It forms the limbic system. It is a regulation for the sexual behavior, expressions of emotion, reaction, responses. These are all the functions of limbic system. See here, it was a group of deep structure called amygdala. Okay, this is a basic function. See, olfactory bulb, it is for smell. Okay, entorhinal cortex, this is for memory. Okay, this is a function of limbic system. Next one, midbrain. After the forebrain, next it was a midbrain. So this is the second division of brain. So here the midbrain is located between the thalamus and hypothalamus. So here the hypothalamus, it is also the master of endocrine system. This is also the point I forgot to include. This is also hypothalamus. This was a master of endocrine system. Okay, here the midbrain, it was present between the thalamus and hypothalamus of forebrain and pons varolii of a hindbrain. Okay, so normally this midbrain was present below the forebrain and above the hindbrain and in between the thalamus and hypothalamus. So here the ventral portion and dorsal portion are there. So here the ventral portion of the midbrain consists of a pair of longitudinal bands. So there are the lot of longitudinal bands of nervous tissue called the cerebral pendicles. So see here, cerebral pendicles. So here these cerebral pendicles are there. So these cerebral pendicles here, which connects of the cerebral hemisphere with the pons. So here these are the cerebral pendicles which connects the cerebral hemisphere with the pons varolii. Here the dorsal portion of the midbrain. Okay, dorsal portion of the midbrain consists of 4 rounded loops called corpora quadrigemina. So corpora quadrigemina. So ventral part, it is called a cerebral pendicles. Dorsal part, it has a 4 loops, corpora quadrigemina. So first of all, these 4 loops are there, no? 2 larger anterior optic loops. See here, these are the loops below the thalamus. Superior colliculus. So at the anterior optic loops that are called superior colliculus, and 2 smaller posterior loops are called inferior colliculi. So the inferior and superior collicula are concerned with a visual and auditory functions, means sight. Okay, sight and auditory functions. These are functions of midbrain. So normally it was a midbrain, it was present above hindbrain and below the forebrain and in between the thalamus and hypothalamus. Here there are 2 portions, ventral and dorsal. So ventral, it has a pair of longitudinal bands of a nervous system that is called cerebral pendicles. Next in dorsal, that has 4 loops. So 4 loops, 2 larger anterior optic loops and 2 smaller posterior loops. This is the superior colliculus, inferior colliculus. This both are make the function of visual and auditory function. This is about the midbrain. Next, last one, hindbrain. The hindbrain is divided into 3: cerebellum, pons varolii and medulla oblongata. The 3 together called a brain stem. So here the cerebellum is a little brain. So it is the second largest part of the brain. It consists of two cerebellar hemispheres. In cerebrum, what are there? It was divided into two cerebellar hemispheres, okay, right and left. But in cerebellum, there are also two cerebellar hemispheres and the central vermis, okay. So these central hemisphere, it has three lobes: anterior, posterior, floccular lobes. So here also it has a branching tree-like core of white matter. White matter is called arbor vitae, the tree of life. Next, this white matter, it was surrounded by a grey matter. So this is a cerebellar cortex. The function of cerebellum, it maintains the equilibrium, posture, okay, movement of the human body. So in cerebrum also there is a white matter and grey matter. In cerebellum also same, white matter and grey matter. See, this is the cerebellum. If we cut this, inside it is a white matter, outside it is a grey matter. So here the pons varolii, it lies in front of the cerebellum, before the midbrain and above the medulla oblongata. It consists of nerves fibers. So these nerve fibers, it form a bridge between the two cerebellar hemispheres, okay. See, this was a pons. It forms a bridge between two cerebellar hemispheres, okay. It is also a relay station between the cerebellum, spinal cord, rest of the brain. Pons has a pneumotaxic center, means here the function is it controls the respiratory muscles and also it regulates the amount of air a person can take in. So respiratory system, and this all will be the function of pons varolii. Pons varolii, it is a relay station and it has it consists of nerves fibers between two cerebellar hemispheres, and it is also a pneumostatic center, okay. This is that is about a pons varolii. See, here the pons varolii is present, here the cerebellum is present. So next one, medulla oblongata. So this was the posterior most part of the brain. It extends from the pons varolii and continues to the spinal cord. This any layer is this is continuing to the, this is a spinal cord. So it is a very thin, this was a thin vascular folded structure called posterior choroid plexus. So this medulla includes the functions like cardiovascular, respiratory center, and the center of swallowing, vomiting, coughing, sneezing, hiccuping. These are all the functions of medulla oblongata. So here the midbrain is there, the pons is there, medulla oblongata, together this all refers to the brain stem, okay. If anyone asks about the brain stem, means we have to tell about the pons, medulla oblongata and cerebellum. So this medulla oblongata passes out from the cranium through the forebrain magnus and joins to the spinal cord, okay. This is about the medulla oblongata. So medulla oblongata, this is posterior most part of the brain. Next one, last ventricles of the brain, human brain. So in human brain there are four ventricles. So first and second ventricles, that is also called as paracols, which are present at right and left cerebral hemisphere. Means these two ventricles are present in forebrain. In forebrain, it was present in cerebrum. In cerebrum, this cerebrum is divided into two parts, no? Left and right. So it was present in left and right. So see here, lateral ventricle, means that is the first and second ventricles are present. Next, third ventricle, diacole, it occurs in diencephalon. So here the diencephalon, this is third ventricle. Next one, these two paracols, means first and second, these are connected to the median diacole, means third. First, second and third, they connected individually by the two foramina of Monro, interventricular foramina. Means this lateral ventricles and this third ventricle is there, these both are connected with what? Interventricular foramina. That is, the connection is called the interventricular foramina. Next, last ventricle, myocole, it was present in medulla, last one. So it was present in medulla, it is a fourth. Medulla is present in the hindbrain. It is also a part of brain stem. So the medulla, this is the fourth ventricle. So this third myelocoil and the diacoil are connected by the narrow canal called iter aqueduct of Sylvius cerebral aqueduct. Okay, these are connected with, see, this fourth one and third one, this was connected with cerebral aqueduct. Okay, the first, second and third were connected with the two foramina of Monro, means interventricular foramina, and this third one and fourth ventricle are connected with the central aqueduct. Okay, this myelocoil means last fourth ventricle, it was continues with the central canal of spinal cord. It continues to the spinal cord downwards. The ventricle of brain and subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space, these are filled with what fluid? Cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, here the cerebrospinal fluid, it includes the alkaline and it is like colorless fluid which is filtered from the, it forms the choroid fluxes into the ventricle of the brain. So here in ventricle of the human brain there are four ventricles, sorry. The four ventricles, 1 and 2 ventricles are present in between the right and left cerebral hemisphere. Third one in diencephalon, so this is diencephalon, and fourth ventricle, it is present in medulla oblongata. Third and fourth one, it was connected by the cerebral aqueduct. Next, first and second and third, these both are connected with intraventricular foramen. Okay, simply. And here the fluid, it was ventricle of the brain. Here the fluid called the cerebrospinal fluid. So this fluid is colorless and alkaline. This is about the ventricles of human brain. So see, this is the structure. If we have any doubts, this is the cerebrum. Here above there are three meninges. Next is cerebrum. This cerebrum is divided into two cerebral hemispheres, right and left. Next, this is diencephalon. Here it is a thalamus. Here down there is the hypothalamus. Next, epithalamus here. Next, here it is a midbrain. Next, pons varoli. Next, this is medulla oblongata. This is a cerebellum. So here the outer layer, it is a gray matter. Inside it is called white matter. Whereas here in cerebrum also there are number of folds. This fold upside, it is called gyri. See, if it is like this down, means it is called figures or salsi. Okay, here it is this right and left hemisphere was connected with a corpus callosum. Okay, here the ventricles are there. Fourth ventricle is present in medulla. Third one, it was present in diencephalon. 1 and 2, it was present in right and left cerebral hemisphere. This is all about the brain. Okay, so today we discuss about a brain in detail. So we completed the central nervous system in that brain topic. So hope you understand. Thank you.